wheel options, specifically new rim styles.
Yeah, so if I jump in here, the ones that are equipped on the car right now are one of the new ones. Unfortunately, they are kind of mixed in with them all. Those ones are new. These new guys.
New. That one's new.
That's cool. There's... Oh, wrong one. So how many have we got in total now?
Over 40.
Over 40 been added in this new update coming tomorrow.
From 20 different brands. So too many to name check.
Cool. All right, and is there anything else about wheels that people should be excited about?
You can paint them now. So let's go and take a look at that.
Shall we?
Not only you can paint the wheels, you can also go in and paint specific sections of wheels.
Okay, so how does that work?
So as you can see from the screen here, there's a little plus sign on the wheel icon. That means that this icon, this part of the car has advanced painting options. You can see it flagged up there with the prompt. If you hit that, we will get a view of the subsections of this wheel that we can now paint individually.
Okay, let's jump in.
Yeah, so choose colors and also materials, which is not something that people have been able to do before. So bang some carbon fiber on that.
Oh, sweet. I actually literally just learned that right now. I didn't even notice. Cool, great.
And so I think the thing that this really does that has been something that we've wanted to do for a while is it allows you to control the materials that appear on areas of the car. Because previously, if you wanted to do something like that, you needed to be very creative with your liveries. And that's great, but the actual texture difference that you get by being able to apply materials is just great. So,
so what are these groups? How do these groups work?
So each group corresponds to an area of the wheel. And you saw there was, just bang some color onto that and bring the option up again. And if you bring up inner barrel, that's an interesting one because like a lot of our painting options, it depends on the wheel rim that you put on, whether or not you can see the inner barrel of the wheel.
So I can make it green even though I can't. Oh no, you can see it. There it is.
It's in there, right?
I mean, I know that's something that people have been crying out for. They're like, that little bit inside the wheel there. It's always just silver metal, but now
it could
I can
be
make it
anything
any
you
color.
like.
Look at that, great.
Oh, it is great. I mean, I'm really happy to be getting this out because the kinds of creative things that people will do this is just going to be great.
So once we'd introduced this new bit of technology, which allowed us to colour in these different materials, why don't you tell us what else we were able to do with that?
Well, I mean, it follows that once you can colour subsections of a wheel, it might also be possible to colour subsections of a car. So why don't you zip over and grab us a Bugatti?
Yeah, so I know this has been a thing that people have had workarounds for this, but it's been extremely time-consuming and labour-intensive in order to solve these kind of problems. So I think the Bugatti is probably the chief example of this. Let's
stick a lovely little wooden detail onto this.
Well, let's just have a... I guess we talk about the reason this car has always been a problem is because, as you can see, as the manufacturer produces it, it has that sort of navy blue there, baby blue on the front half of the car, and as well that little silver detail.
Yeah.
And typically in our game, when you're trying to paint that, you'd go paint, and then you'd go, well, I want it to be orange, and it would paint all of those sections the same colour.
Exactly.
Which is fine, but if you wanted to then go and maybe just repeat what the main manufacturer colour, but with different tones, it's a lot of work. You'd have to go and build in and colour in all of those individual sections.
Exactly.
So if we head back.
And so, because of the plus symbol there, we hit that, and now we have paint groups. So,
so I can now colour that. I can make that part carbon whilst leaving the back part the same navy.
Okay. Yeah.
Sweet. Let me pick a colour.
So I'm guessing now people can just personalise it a little bit more, make it a bit more unique, special.
And
It'll be interesting to see, won't it, the different liveries that people can come up with now with these
because
colours.
these layer in under liveries, right?
Yep.
So and as Mike said, it's a way to achieve things that you could possibly kind of approach with the previous system, but simply because we can add actual materials to sections of the car, the detailed feel that you get out of it is completely different to what you could have done before. So if you bang over all the way to the right to that lovely wood inlay, because who doesn't want to put inlaid wood onto their hyper?
So I have to admit that I'd often felt that these paint options over here were really of limited usefulness in the previous way, because if you wanted to have a bit of wood effect like that, which I think is kind of classy, it'd probably look a little bit better on a Jag actually, but it looks kind of classy that maybe someone's going to put a little bit of a wood inlay on there. When you paint the whole car in wood, it doesn't look as cool, shall we say?
Yes.
And I could go in and paint the wheels as well, right?
Yeah, you can.
Maybe I can have one else.
I'm about to say this was definitely something that a lot of the community was asking for. So hopefully we can see what people can come up with now with these variations of colours and material.
Mm-hmm. It's really going to be great.
Take a look at one more car. So how many cars has this been applied to?
So. Interesting little inside detail. This works because it plugs into the material groups that we use to build the cars. And this means that it varies quite a bit from car to car. So in some cases, you'll see cars that have a really interesting spread of materials, which will allow you to do some really eye-catching things like Harlequin-style color splits on cars. So I think it's really a question of people going in and experimenting with the cars and seeing what they can do with it, which is really, I think, why we wanted to get this feature out there, because the kinds of things that people will be able to do with it are just going to blow us away.
So I think this is an interesting example because you can see how the body of this car is made up of several different materials. You've got the sort of copper colour, the white plastic on the sides there, and then that like honeycomb there as well. And each of those is like a separate group in this, so you can colour those in individually.
Yes.
I think just to remind people, I suppose, we could just... So you see those different sort of materials the car's made up of. Now, in the old style, that was kind of the results.
Painted orange or nothing.
Which was fine. But if you wanted to go back in and have that sort of honeycomb effect there, you'd have to go and basically paint that in yourself in the editor. But that, or colour should go with yellow and blue.
So I was going to say, when does this go live for everyone?
It goes live with the rest of the next update, the so-called service check.
Oh, nice.
That will be going live tomorrow, or rather going out tomorrow, and then going live with the season change at the end of this week.
Yes, patch goes out tomorrow, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.